Hi everyone, welcome to Alma Pilates and Yoga. This is a special class because I'm sharing this on YouTube as well as for my on-demand members. I'm able to do this because of my members and I'm only doing this once a month, so I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to start seated and we're going to grab the backs of our thighs, sit up tall, big inhale, and as you exhale, let's round the spine, lean back. Take a huge inhale as we lift the chest, maybe look up to the sky, opening up the front of the body, and exhale to round. And again, inhale to lift, exhale to round, going at the pace that feels right for your body. I do want to mention that this class is going to be a more, I would say, intermediate flow. It is going to be a little bit faster, I would say, less pauses in between the transitions. Go ahead and bring your hands behind the head, round the spine, roll all the way down onto the floor. All right, big inhale. As you exhale, chin to chest, roll all the way up. Keep your hands behind your head. And kind of mimicking what we were doing before, we're going to round, but we're going to lay all the way down. We're going to round back up, but we're going to lift all the way up, lift the chin, lift the chest. So we're just adding an extra step to this. And yeah, for now, we'll keep the knees bent. Of course, you can always straighten your legs to make it a little bit more challenging. And you can also add the arms here. So actually, let's roll all the way down. Reach the arms forward and try to keep your shoulders lifted off the floor. Your knees are going to be bent, your feet are going to be flat, and let's pump those arms for our hundreds. Keeping the arms straight, you can bring both legs to tabletop, or you can straighten the legs forward to make it a bit more challenging. I like to squeeze my inner thighs and squeeze my heels together to feel the inner thighs help out my lower abs work. Keep those arms pulsing. Remember that it's not pulsing from the wrist or the fingers. It's pulsing through the entire arm at a faster pace. Lower those legs down if you need more of a challenge. We got this. A few more. Keep pumping those arms. All right. From here, let's hug the knees into the chest. Grab the right leg, straighten the left leg forward, creating a letter L shape. Big inhale, lift the chin to the chest. For a single straight leg stretch, as we switch, grab the other leg. Switch, grab the other leg. Very nice. Now notice how even as I let go of my one leg, my chest doesn't drop down. So I need to see the same from you. Even as you let go of the leg, you're still using your abs. They're still keeping your chest lifted. We got it, team. We're looking good. Keep the chin to the chest. Try not to look upwards. That ends up creating a little bit more tension throughout the neck than is needed. Oh, and here's the start of the show, truly, because I know you guys did not come here for a workout. You came here to see my little bean. So we're going to grab the right leg. On this next one, hold it there. Keep the chest, again, lifted. This is a great time to make any adjustments. But we're going to pair this with the hundreds that we did before. So reach the arms forward and let's pump those arms. And every 5 pumps, we're going to switch the leg. So pump 2, 3, 4, 5. Pump 2, 3, 4, 5. There are certain exercises LB just does not like, and hundreds is one of them. I think it frazzles him too much. But anyways, keep it going. Whatever leg is up, really try to keep it pretty long and lengthened above your hip versus having it really bent in an effort to try to bring it super close to the chest. Remember, the priority here is length and shape and form, not how close can I get that top leg to my chest. Good, a few more. Keep those pumps going and hug the knees into the chest. Let's roll on up. Okie doke, and we're going to go for rolling like a ball. So go ahead and hug those knees. Let's roll back, roll forward. Try not to use too much momentum from the legs like I just did there. Although I do remember, my earphones fell. I do remember when I was filming this, my back was really, really tight. So that's probably why I was using momentum. It does get better after a few rolls, I will say that. Just a few more. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up to seated. All right, let's switch on over. Coming onto our hands and knees, finding our plank position, feet wide apart. All right, once we're here, by the way, I like to go on my knuckles. It feels better for my wrists, so I'm going to do that for myself, but you can do hands or forearms. And we're just going to hold for a few seconds. As you're holding, notice if your shoulders are a little bit more over your hands or behind your hands. Because of my hand position, my shoulders feel better slightly behind my hands. Just want to make that very clear. All right, go ahead and bend those knees, press the hips back, reach the arms forward, child's pose. Okie doke, we're going to go back into our plank position, and I want you to decide what you want to do with your hands. I'm going to attempt my hands flat. We'll see how this goes. And feet wide apart. Now let's try to lift the left leg and right arm forward, which is why you want your feet apart, and then plant everything down. And then same thing, other side, right leg up, left arm up, and then plant it back down, and let's continue. This was surprisingly a lot easier than I thought. So of course, you want to fine tune this a little bit more. And as I'm watching myself do this, I already know that twisting from my hips first is probably not ideal. I don't actually think that I need to do that. So definitely next time I do this, that's something I'm going to keep in mind. I highly recommend you record yourself, by the way, when you're working out. Maybe not every time, but sometimes so you can kind of see, okay, what can I do better? Because I really know that I can do that a little bit better. Go ahead and rest. Press your hips back. Arms stretched. Let me know in the comments if you do that. Okay. And then from here, we're going to turn around, sit facing the short end of our mat. Feet wide apart, feet flexed, toes pulled back. And let's bring our hands behind the head. Let's exhale, twist to the right 2 times. Exhale, twist to the left 2 times. When we twist, we add these pulse-like movements. And when we pulse, we can exhale, exhale. So inhale to twist, exhale, exhale, pulse. Inhale to twist, exhale, exhale, pulse. Sitting up tall, trying to make sure that our shoulders stay and remain over the hips. Making sure that we don't jut the chin forward, that we keep our head right above the shoulders. And now let's reach our arms out to a letter T. From here, left arm reaches forward to the right foot. Pulse, pulse forward. Inhale to twist and exhale to pulse, pulse forward on the other side. Inhale to twist and repeat. I like to bring my hands behind my head when I do this because believe it or not, on the other side between me and the wall, I don't have a lot of space. My arms are really long. So I do have to modify that, but you don't have to bring your hands behind your head. I just want to be clear that's why I'm doing that. I know sometimes in the comments I'll get, that's not how you actually do the exercise. Yes, I know. I just have to modify. That's okay. Good, good. And let's bring the legs together, hands behind the head, roll all the way down. All right, bend the knees. Well, actually, you know what? Let's straighten the legs from here. We're going to take a big inhale and exhale, flatten the low back into the floor, and then inhale to arch the low back. Exhale to flatten and inhale to arch. If it's easier for you to do this with the knees bent, that's fine. But next time you flatten, we're going to lift the legs up. And you don't have to arch your back when you lower the legs down, but I do want you to emphasize the exhale as your legs lift. I do want you to emphasize the low back flattening as you lift the legs up. And you might start to feel your hips wanting to lift off the floor. I'll demonstrate that here. And if you can, on the next one, lift your hips up and overhead. Of course, that's after the exhale. We're going to separate the feet as we lower the spine back down, bring the feet down and together on the mat. And again, exhale, flatten the low back, reach those legs up and over, flex the feet, separate the legs, and lower the spine down. Good. Try that one more time. Feeling how It's almost like my feet are trying to purposely reach to that curtain behind me. So whatever you have behind you, let's try to aim towards that thing or that direction. We got it. And lower all the way down. One last one. Hold it here. Place your hands behind your glutes. Lift the right leg up towards the sky. Let's do a little bit of a bicycle here with the legs. And I want you to try very hard. Whatever leg is reaching forward and is about to bend, imagine the foot going down lower towards the floor. Now, of course, that takes a lot of time and practice to try to get that right, but we're looking good. We've got it. And there's no need to rush these. Going faster doesn't mean it's more effective. Sometimes going slower to feel the technique working is going to be the priority. We got it, team. Keep going. Awesome. All right, let's bring those legs up and over together, arms down, and then lower the spine all the way down, lower the legs, reach the arms forward, lift the chest, and reach the arms overhead. Hug the knees into the chest, reach the arms up and overhead, and hug the knees into the chest again. Reach and hug. Let's do that a couple of times. Now, when we reach the arms up and overhead, you guys already know this. Try not to let the shoulders touch the mat. Try to keep the shoulders slightly separated from the mat. Got a few more. Make sure that your arms don't bend as you reach up and over. Try to keep them as straight as possible. You want to think biceps by your ears almost. Hands behind the head, legs straight up to the sky. Lower the legs forward and down towards the wall in front of you, and exhale to lift the leg up. Lower the leg forward and down and lift the legs up. Good. Now don't forget, when we lift the legs up to the sky, you want to flatten the low back down into the mat as you lift the legs. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. We're doing great, everyone. Keep it going. And now let's twist the chest to the right, twist the chest to the left, bringing one knee into the chest and then the other. So if you're twisting to the right, you're going to bring the right knee into the chest. If you're twisting to the left, you're going to bring the left knee to the chest. We got this, team. Again, try to keep those shoulders off of the floor as you're doing this, as you're twisting. It's almost like trying to match the left rib to the right hip bone and right rib to the left hip bone. Let's go ahead and roll on up to seated. And you're going to scoot yourself back onto the mat, making sure you have plenty of space in front of you. Let's start by putting our hands behind us, hands wide apart, legs straight, and press the hips up into a reverse plank. From here, we're going to take the left leg and lift it up to the sky and lower it down. Right leg, lift it up to the sky and lower it down. Try to keep your shoulders away from the ears, and while the hips might sink a little bit, try your best to press up through the glute as the opposite leg lifts up. We got it. We're doing great. I like to have my feet turned out here. It just taps right into my outer glutes. Go ahead and lower the hips down and stretch your arms forward. It's actually one of the reasons why I would label this more of an intermediate class, because not every beginner can really do this one, and there would be a lot of progressions to master before this. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and turn ourselves around. And we're going to come down onto our forearms, straighten the legs back into your plank. If you prefer to do this with your hands on the mat instead of your forearms, that's totally fine. Let's lift one leg up and plant it down. Lift the other leg up and plant it down. And yes, I'm arching my back on purpose just to feel more of the back side of my body and to get a little bit of spinal extension in here. So as one leg lifts, I try to shine my chest forward through my shoulders, but without bringing my shoulders to my ears or bringing my shoulder blades too close together. We got this, team. Just a few more, and then rest your knees down. You can press your hips back into a child's pose, lengthening the arms. All right, and then from here, let's go ahead and change our position to side lying. Forearm on the floor, bottom knee bent, top leg straight, so we can lift up and over into a modified side bend. Inhale to reach up and lift. Now my bottom knee is pressing down into the mat to lift up my hips up a bit higher. So this is a nice way to transition into the full side bend if you need to modify. It's still tough on the shoulders, so just keep that in mind. Anytime you need to take a break, please take it. And top hand behind the head. Let's do little rainbows with that top leg. Lifting the top leg up and over, and then lifting the top leg up and back. I'm trying to aim for the front and the back edge of my mat to really make sure I have a nice, balanced movement. Because sometimes people focus too much on the front part of the movement and then not enough on the back side. Chest is open, rib cage is lifted. And notice how I'm not looking at my leg. 1, you don't need to. 2, it'll end up twisting your hip back, and you don't really want to do that. All right, let's bring the leg back to center. We're going to come up onto our bottom hand, top hand behind the head, and you're going to lift the hips up. That way our top leg can lift up, and we can tuck the knee to the chest and extend the leg out and back. Tuck the knee into the chest, extend the leg out and back. And as you're doing this, just remember, I like to round my back. As you guys have noticed, I like a lot of spinal mobility. So I'm going to round my back as the knee comes to my chest. I'm also going to extend my back as my leg lengthens and pulls back. That's going to feel really nice on your spine after a while. But if you're still focusing on the strength of the bottom shoulder and that's a little too much, just think of bending the knee into the chest and straightening it to the wall next to you. And just focus on that for now if you need to modify. And of course, if you want something more challenging, this could be done with the bottom leg straight. Okay, let's come down. Give that bottom arm a good stretch. And let's try a full side bend. Go into your full side bend, bend both knees, lower the hips down, and give yourself a stretch. So we'll insert a stretch there in between each rep. Press up and over. Bend the knee, lower it down. Find your stretch. Come up and over, one foot in front of the other for the most amount of support, and then come down. Going. I apologize for the fidgeting around my leggings. I definitely need to buy different leggings. Keep going. And to be real, it's not that these are bad. My body's been changing a little bit, so I need to adjust. All right, let's switch over to the other side. Forearm down, top hand behind your head. Bottom knee is bent. Let's lift the top leg up and lift the hips. And when you're ready, lift the hips and lower it down. I love this version of the side bend. It's not as extensive, it's not as full range of motion for the spine, but it does a great job of still strengthening the side of the body so that eventually you feel like really confident in that side bend. It took me a long time to feel confident in a side bend, but this is what I would do instead. Keep going. It's a good warm-up for the shoulder as well. One more. And lift the top leg up. Pull the leg forward and down. Up, back, and down. Up, forward, down. Up, back, and down. So getting that nice rainbow-like shape, rainbow-like movement for your leg is going to be really important here. Notice how I'm not shrugging my bottom shoulder up to my ear. Although that will happen the more tired you get doing this exercise. If you're not used to doing sideline work, you'd be surprised. Like even people with tons of strength, tons of experience, whether it's because of coordination or lack of strength, that shoulder always ends up creeping up to the bottom ear. And so you want to really avoid that. And the best way to do that is by not only putting your forearm down and pressing, like actually pressing into the mat, but also lifting up through the rib cage. Go ahead and bend the knee, bring it in, and let's come up. Top leg straight, reach up and over, finding again a modified version of a side bend. And then lift the top leg up and let's go. Bend the knee to the chest and straighten out and back. Good. Now remember, the whole torso movement isn't necessary. It's just a version that I love. And I didn't really notice this until I'm watching myself doing this over again. But that top leg could definitely be a lot higher. So make sure that in your body right now, your top leg is pushing what feels like a challenge and what feels comfortable. Keep going. We got this. Movement looks great. Hopefully we have a breathing pattern that feels like it goes well with this. And let's bring that foot down, lower the hips, and find our mermaid side stretch because we're going to go right into that side bend. Remember, if you need to modify any of the ways that we just did. Reaching up and over, lowering down, reach it up and over. These always feel so good. Could I be smoother at transitioning down to a seated position? Absolutely, I can be. And this is one of the reasons why I recommend you record not every workout, but every couple workouts, I would say, just put your phone, prop it up, and then see, okay, what am I doing that I'm not realizing that I'm doing? Which is why I like doing these voiceovers, because I can concentrate on what the cues you guys need to hear. All right. One more. And then let's transition into our hands and knees. From here, we're going to scooch forward, hands on the mat. Go ahead and lower the chest down for some modified push-ups. Let's go for 3, 2, 1, and press the hips up and back into your pike. Walk your hands back to your feet. Slowly curl on up to standing. Pull the arms back out and up. Dive the hands down. Hands on the mat, walk it forward, and give me another 3 push-ups. Down and up for 3, down and up 2. Press the hips up and back, walk your hands back, and slowly curl on up. And you guys are going to do one more. Dive the hands down, walk your hands forward. 3 push-ups, down and up for 3, down and up 2, down and up 1. Press your hips back. Walk your hands back to your feet and slowly curl on up. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And you guys are all set to go. Thank you so much for joining me in this class. These classes that I post on YouTube are only possible because of the members that I've got on my online website. So to be exclusive to them, I'm only going to be posting one of these workout videos on this channel a month. I'll do one in English and one in Spanish, and then a couple of other like funner videos, like behind the scenes vlogs type thing. So that's kind of the plan for this channel as of now. If you have any questions on the membership or any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me and follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing day, and I'll see you in my next one.